Have you ever wondered what it feels like to have sensory processing disorder? Imagine a world where the ordinary things that most people take for granted become overwhelming challenges. For those with sensory processing disorder, life can feel like a constant battle to navigate a world that wasn't made for them. Sensory processing disorder, SPD, is sometimes considered separate from neurodiversity because, while it frequently co-occurs with conditions like autism spectrum disorder, ASD, and ADHD, it can also exist independently. Hi, I am Jag, just taking a quick break to explain some things. As late diagnosed autistic and ADHD, still figuring things out one day at a time. I use AI to help me create videos so I can share my message more clearly. It helps me concentrate better, stay organized, but also tap into my creativity. This channel is a safe space for anyone who found out later in life and thought, now what? Here, I will share tips, tools, and stories I wish someone had told me when I first started this journey. If you are feeling overwhelmed, curious, or just want to feel a little less alone, you are in the right place. Sensory processing disorder, SPD, makes everyday tasks and routines difficult because of how your brain processes information from your senses. You might think of your senses as the way that you experience the world around you. With SPD, your brain struggles to organize and make sense of the messages that your senses send. It's like your brain is constantly trying to sort through a never-ending pile of puzzle pieces that don't quite fit. SPD affects how your brain processes information from your five senses: touch, smell, taste, sight, and hearing. People with SPD often feel like they are overstimulated or overwhelmed by the amount of sensory input they receive. Just think about going to a party with blaring music, flashing lights, and lots of people talking all at once. This can be an extremely overwhelming experience for someone with SPD. Even something as simple as walking through a crowded hallway can feel like navigating a minefield of sensory input. Let's talk about some of the symptoms that someone with SPD might experience. When it comes to touch, a person with SPD might feel pain when others do not in response to light pressure or movement. Certain textures like the feel of clothing tags or gravel might be intensely irritating. Some people with SPD might avoid certain types of clothing because of the way they feel against their skin. They might also have trouble with haircuts or getting a medical exam because the experience can be so overwhelming. SPD can also affect how a person smells things. Certain scents might trigger an intense reaction or even a panic attack. It's not uncommon for people with SPD to have anxiety or stress-related symptoms when exposed to strong odors like perfume or cleaning chemicals. This is why many people with SPD might prefer to avoid places like the mall or grocery stores where strong smells tend to linger. But SPD doesn't just affect a person's physical reactions. It can also impact their daily life and well-being. For example, a person with SPD might struggle with impulse control, making it hard for them to resist the urge to spin, flip, or flap their hands. This might lead to social and emotional challenges, making it difficult to fit in or feel accepted by others. And then there's the sensory-seeking behavior. Some people with SPD crave certain sensory experiences, like spinning, rocking, or swaying. They might seek out these sensations by swinging on a swing or rocking on a rocking chair. Others might chew on ice or crunch on paper to feel the sensation in their mouth. But these behaviors can be challenging, especially when a person with SPD is in a place where they can't engage in them. For example, a person with SPD might feel the urge to spin in their seat during class or at work, but obviously this isn't possible. When this happens, they might feel an intense need to escape the situation. It can be frustrating for a person with SPD when others don't understand their condition. They might be labeled as lazy, inconsiderate, or even weird. And this can make it even harder for them to open up and connect with others. SPD is a real and challenging condition, but it's important to remember that every person's experience is unique. Some people with SPD might only experience mild symptoms, while others might face more significant challenges. But no matter what form it takes, SPD can be a significant part of a person's life. If you suspect you or someone you know might have SPD, it's important to seek professional help. A qualified healthcare provider can conduct a comprehensive evaluation and provide an accurate diagnosis. They will consider various factors such as the individual's symptoms, developmental history, and family history. Once diagnosed, there are several treatment options available to help manage the symptoms of SPD. Occupational therapy is one of the most effective treatments as it helps individuals develop strategies to cope with their sensory issues. Therapists can teach sensory diets, which are structured activities that provide the right amount of sensory input throughout the day. These diets can help regulate the individual's sensory system and improve their overall functioning. In addition to occupational therapy, there are other therapies that can be beneficial for individuals with SPD. Speech therapy, for example, can help with social communication and pragmatics, while behavioral therapy can assist with managing challenging behaviors. Living with sensory processing disorder can be tough, but remember, you're not alone. There are resources and support groups available to help you on your journey. By working with healthcare professionals and connecting with others who understand what you're going through, you can find ways to manage your symptoms and live a fulfilling life. So if you or someone you know is facing the challenges of sensory processing disorder, know that help and understanding are out there. Encourage your loved one to seek professional help and support and be patient and understanding as they navigate this unique sensory experience. Let's figure this out together, and don't forget to subscribe to Your Own Courage. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Please don't pay attention to the trolls. All they want is attention. Not the right kind. So go on ignoring them. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.